synthetic method of division of polynomials. Synthetic method. So in our previous videos, we talked about how to divide polynomials, of which we said we have two ways or two methods that can help us to do that. Of which we talk about the long division and the synthetic method. Today our focus is going to be on the synthetic method of division of polynomials. Generally, this strategy can help us to deduce or get the quotient and the remainder of a polynomial divided by a linear factor. Alright, so let's dive into how to deal with this type of strategy. Generally, to do with this, the polynomial given first, you need to list the coefficient. List the coefficient and make sure that you include all missing or all the zeros or all missing terms. So you place it with what? 0. So for example, if it is x cubed plus, let's say, 4x, what is the missing term here? We should have like something like x cubed plus, let's say, 0x squared plus 4x. So the coefficient here should be what? 0. So you use 0 to replace that one. Now, always remember that the division, the divisor should be in the form x minus c, and our c is placed at the left side. Then we first bring down the first coefficient down. You multiply by c, then we add to each row. That's how we do it. So let's take a typical example and look at how it is being done. So our example 1, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 divided by x minus 3. Then we have to divide this by this. Now remember, I said this one here, the divisor should be in the form x minus c. So it means that our term here, the c, can be what? What will be c? Okay. Now this can be written in the form x minus plus c, which is the same as x minus 3. So this is our c is what? Positive 3. Now this is how we do it. We're going to write our 3 at the left here. Then we write our coefficient from the polynomials. So the first one, the coefficient is 1. Second one is negative 2. Third one is what? Negative 5. Then we have 6. Okay. So we said that the first thing you need to do here is what? Bring down the first coefficient. So you bring it down. Use that one to multiply the c. What you get, you add it to this column. So you have 1 times 3, you get 3. Then you get negative 3, negative 2 plus 3, you get what? 1. Now, the next thing, you use the 1 to multiply the 3 here. So 1 times 3 will give you 3. Then you add negative 5 plus 3, you get negative 2. Now, the next step, negative 2 times 3 will give you what? Negative 6. You add, you get 0. So the last digit here is the remainder. So this is the remainder. So anytime you divide and get a remainder to be 0, it means that this divisor here is a factor. It's a factor of the polynomial given. Yes, it's a factor for the polynomial given. Now, how do we write this? Let's take the first thing. We have x cubed. We divide by this. You get what? X. You get what? X squared. So it means our first term you what? X squared plus x in that order minus 2. Our remainder is 0. So this is the quotient after the division. Let's take another example on that. Take another example on that particular aspect. Okay. The next example, example 2. X cubed plus 5x squared plus 7 plus 2 divided by x plus 2. Now, how do we do this? Now, we said that we need to get our c. Now, this should be in the form x minus c. So, meaning that this here can be written in the form x minus 2, right? Yes. So, it means that our c is negative 2. Negative 2. Now, let's write our coefficient from here. We have the first one being 1, second one 5. We are supposed to get, okay, so this is supposed to be, this is the question, is 7x. So we have our 7 being our next one, then we have the last one 2. So we bring down the first coefficient, you use to multiply the c. So 1 times negative 2 will give you what? Negative 2. Then you add. So 5 plus negative 2, this is going to be 5 minus 2. Then you get what? 3. Now 3 times negative 2 will give what? Negative 6. Then you add. This is going to give us what? 1. Now 1 times negative 2 will give a negative 2. Then you add, you get 0. So our remainder is 0. Okay, so once again, we have x cubed divided by x. This is going to be what? X squared. So our first thing will be what? X squared plus 3x plus 1. And this becomes what? The quotient. Yes, that becomes our quotient. Yes. So you see, this strategy is quite simple. All right. Now, let's look at a different form of this type or this strategy. Our example 3. We have 3x squared plus 7x minus 20 divided by x plus 5. Now, let's dive into this. So we have our in here. What will be our c? The c that we are going to write here, what will be it? Say that this should be in the form x minus c. So we have plus here. It means that it can be written in the form x minus what? 5. So it means that our c is what? Negative 5. So we can write our negative 5 here. Now let's go for our coefficient. The first one is 3. Second one is what? 7. Now the third one is what? Negative 20. Okay, so let's see. You bring down the first coefficient. Then so if you bring it down, you multiply by the c, you get negative 15. Then you add, you get negative 8. Using negative 8 to multiply negative 5, you get what? 40. Then you add, So you just multiply, you add, you multiply, you add, and this is going to give us what? 20. Now in this case, our remainder is not 0. Yes, our remainder is not 0. So in this case, it tells you that this is not a factor of the polynomial. This one is not a factor. So what will you do here? Okay, so how will you write this? So remember the first term, we have 3x squared divided by x. If you take this, we are going to get what? 3x. So our first term here should be what? 3x. Then minus what? 8. Now, anytime you have a remainder in this form, you are going to write it divided by the divisor, which was the x plus 5. So this is how you are going to write it if the remainder is not 0. Yes, this is how you are going to write it if the remainder is not what? 0. Okay, so let's take another example on that. So example 4. We have 7x cubed plus 6x minus 8 divided by x minus 4. Now we are going in for the synthetic method again. So what will be our c? So if you want to get the c, you said that it should be in the form x minus c. So it means that this can be in the form x minus positive c. So our our c should be 4. So we have 4 here. Then our coefficient here, we have the first one being 7. Second one, you see the missing term here should have 0x squared, something like this. So the next one should be what? 0 followed by 6, then negative 8. Yes. So you bring down the first coefficient, you multiply by this, you get what? 28. You add, you get 28. 28 times 4, you get 112. You add, you get what? 118. 118 times 4 will give you what? You get 472. You add, you get 464. So in this case too, the remainder is not 0. So how are we going to write it? So we had our first term to be 7x cubed divided by x, we get what? 7x squared. So our first term here should be 7x squared. Then in that order, we get 28x plus 118 plus 464 divided by the divisor, which was x minus 4. And that is simple. It is quite simple. So thank you for watching.